From Forex Traders Daily, this is your daily analysis with Ross Mullins, live from Richmond, Virginia.
Hello everyone, this is today's video analysis for August 24th, 2016. In today's video, I really don't have a trade setup that I'm really happy with yet for the day today. On the news calendar this week, so far, we have had very little motivators, if you will, or high impact news to cause the market to have some significant movement out of the market. Even today, looking at the news calendar, we don't have a lot on the calendar. Probably the biggest thing that will potentially move the US dollar, existing home sales at 10 a.m., and potentially the crude oil inventories at 10:30. But other than that, there's nothing really on the calendar to provide some motivation for the market to break out of ranges or congestion or consolidation that we've seen over the past few days. I think it's fortunate that we've had a couple of trades that have been profitable over the past couple of days. We start here on the NZDUSD. We bought it a couple of days ago into the green shaded area, the top of the black, or the top right-hand side of the corner of the chart. There's a black box. We bought the green zone into the blue trend line, and the market went up into the pink zone. We're still sitting with a very small piece. We've closed a majority of profit. We've moved the stop loss in to protect profit. And now we just wait to see if the market can break out of this little period of congestion. Zoom it back in. You can see it's just kind of stuck in here. If the market can break through the top side, the pink shaded area, and the 73.25 level, we'll look for further profit on the last remaining portion of the trade. Otherwise, if it continues to bounce around in here, we may see it come back down and take us out of the remaining portion at our stop loss. You move over to the US yen, it's a similar situation. Earlier this week, we took a sell into the blue shaded area at the top of this black box. And over the past few days, zoom it in one more time, take a look at this. It's just kind of gone stagnant right here, right around the green shaded area over the past few days. So we really need some motivator, either to drive this back down into the 99s or start some reversal here for this currency pair back above the 100.60, 100.85 level. We might even look for further movement back higher again for the US yen. But right now, we're just kind of stuck and not really moving on this pair. We have, of course, closed a good portion of the trade and locked in with our stop loss, but need something to really move this currency pair. Moving over to the US CAD, this is another trade that we had going yesterday. I'm just going to go ahead and zoom it in here. Yesterday, we sold the blue shaded area. Actually, a couple of days ago, we sold the blue shaded area, targeted the orange zone. When it made it down to 28.70, we closed some of the profit on the trade, moved the stop loss into break even or better into profit, and the market turned right back around and came back up. So we're out of that trade at the moment. It doesn't really entice me to jump back in here. We're kind of stuck in here again. It may be that we wait for those crude oil inventories at 10:30 a.m. Eastern U.S. time today to give this some motivation, either to start moving back up or turn back lower again. Whatever oil prices do, if oil prices decide to go up, we look for the U.S. CAD to go down. If oil prices start to go down, we look for this to turn back higher on the US CAD. Another currency pair that is interesting to watch here is the GBPUSD. We're approaching the top of this range, this black box that you see. Since the Brexit news, we have been stuck inside this range in this black box. What's most important about that, if I zoom in a couple of times, is that we're approaching the top. So we know that there's a very good likelihood of resistance the closer you get in towards the 1.3300 level. So I'd be very discouraged about buying into resistance on the GBPUSD. The closer it gets there, we might look for clues and evidence of resistance and reversal once again as it stays inside the channel. Doesn't mean it has to, because clearly if it breaks out above here, which it hasn't done since the Brexit news, we might look for a little bit of a push higher. So just difficult to go long as we approach the top of this range that we've been in since the Brexit news. You take it over here to the AUDUSD. A couple of times we've had an opportunity as it dipped down to 7,600 to look for a potential buy. If you did buy it around 76, protect profit on the way back towards the blue zone. But even this currency pair kind of stuck between the blue and the pink shaded area. Nothing really significant happening on the AUDUSD. And then we take it on over to the euro and the franc. We have seen a little bit of movement today back down for the euro dollar, but I'm not confident in this breakout quite yet. You see it challenging underneath the orange zone and underneath the black box, but there's no clear signal that is open and closing in a clear breakout. This could be a false breakout. If all of a sudden the market turns back higher again, this might be a false breakout. So we would need to pay attention to that 4-hour time frame, even here on the 4-hour. Not a real breakout yet. So suddenly, if it turns around and gets back into or above the orange zone, that actually might become a buy scenario. But right now, not really confident in taking a trade there. U.S. franc moving higher today, moving into resistance. Moving into resistance, the blue shaded area as it continued to pressure higher above the orange shaded area, but we're at resistance. Again, not really a great place to go long and buy this pair. I do think that if we can get above the blue shaded area, targeting back up here towards the 97.35.55 level, the yellow shaded area where the 100 period moving average is, might be something interesting. But it's got to get through that blue zone first. Take it down here to the 4-hour time frame. And as we get down here, of course, yesterday we kind of discussed a little bit about a potential inverted head and shoulders here. You can see the shoulder on the left, the head in the bottom, and the shoulder on the right. If that remains true, then buying on dips into support might be something interesting as well, back down here towards the orange shaded area. So we'll continue to watch for that as well as we go through our day today.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.